The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read. Your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. Come on. Take a look at the record.
You know, I've been critical of you. I have a few things I want to talk to you about today.
I know you have.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
No, I don't. That's why I want to get to know you today. I want to talk to you about mostly black stuff.
I get overwhelming support from the black leadership, young and old. Every poll shows me way ahead.
And black people saved your political life in the primaries this year. They have things they want from you, and one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered.
All right, good people, this is the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. I am here with my family, my siblings, and all their significant others, and I want to show the world and everybody in America where I get my views and my politics from. Now, my views and my politics have come from a lifetime of being around individuals like my sisters and brothers and their significant others who have sat around, played cards, played dominoes, and you know, we always talk about things in the community, things that's going on in the community and all around us. So today we're going to open up discussion on Joe Biden. Okay, like I said, this is going to be a special show, and I want everybody to vote for Joe Biden, but that's my opinion. Now, I want to get the opinions of my siblings and their significant others, because in life, you know, a village makes up a community. You know, you have villages all over your community with people that's involved in it. They help you raise your kids. They help you do things in your community. They help you live and grow. So now I'm finna get to my siblings. I want to introduce them all. All right, as I said, we're going to go around the room, and I want to introduce each of my family members to you. And these are the people who have shaped my childhood and shaped my adulthood. And I want you to get to know them.
Who's first?
Going around.
Who's first?
My name is Courtney Banks. Oh yes, my brother-in-law, Marcus.
I'm Alistair Banks, and Marcus is my little brother.
Lamont, ready to go. Let's get it.
Dorkhead, dreadhead, stupid.
What we gonna do it?
I'm
See,
gonna
hold
do
up.
it.
Let's do this over. We gonna do it like that. Let's do this over.
She finna get out.
I could have said some things. You know what I'm saying? I tried to keep it plain and simple.
She's fixing to get out. Oh my God. Go on.
Holly Selby Jr. Let's get him.
And I'm like,
I told her that's why she got to take.
yeah, she gotta go.
I told her.
We just gonna make this a 4 fat people thing. Go, girl.
I told y'all ahead of time.
What she gonna do. And I'm Lana. I'm the baby sister.
All right, you guys, these are my family members, and as I told you before, you know, we all have sat around playing cards, playing dominoes, just hanging with each other and going over things in life and things in the community that goes on a day-to-day basis, on a month-to-month basis, year-to-year basis, and you know, these are the things that these are voters here. These are black voters here. And I wanted to come into the community, come into my community that I was raised in, and get a feel of what my family members and my siblings are going through and what they think about certain subjects. Now today I'm gonna call this show Sibling Talks. So we're gonna set this off with the first discussion about the Joe Biden situation. Now, anybody chime in? I want any one of y'all to chime in on what's going on with Joe Biden. What you think?
What do y'all think about Mr. Biden? Well, for me, I think that when he made that statement, you could say that he was taking it. He was trying to be rhetorical, or I guess funny in a sense. But in the times that we living in, he can't be playing like that. I mean, you talking about like if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. We barely voting for him. You know, we really is looking for who has our best interest. And for him to make that joke at this time, I feel like it was insensitive, and I feel like he should have reworded it, or he should have there wasn't a chance to use his black card. You know what I'm saying?
This time and day, I don't think it's really time for us to be looking at sensitivity and all this and that, because that went out the window. Everybody is up for grabs on a whole lot of stuff that's going on in the nation, and people are really just showing their true colors. We trying to bid for the best person that we think will be able to take care of the nation.
Exactly.
Of course, the silly stuff that's going on, the silly stuff being said, if we take it literally, we're never gonna get anywhere.
You are absolutely
because
right.
we all human. You know what I'm saying? So
You
at the end of the day,
are you not? Who's next?
it is what it is.
Who's
We're
next?
not about it though. We're not about it.
Yeah,
Next.
we have a discussion. Now, what I want to know is, now I done heard from two of my siblings. I'm gonna hear from more of my siblings too. But what I want to know is,
One more thing.
does that change any of y'all vote? What he said.
It doesn't change the vote, but just the way you look at him, because it seemed a little, like you're saying, sensitive, sort of racist to a certain.
Yeah.
To a certain.
Yeah.
But then where else do we have to go? Because if you look at all of them, define them.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's
Biden
always
and
gonna
Trump.
be something. If you
Biden and
understand
Trump
what
is
I'm
like
saying.
the lesser two.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta be Biden.
It's always gonna be something.
And Biden don't need to start making jokes, because Trump is making enough jokes that the other people need to take this time to be serious. Because
Right.
all the things that Trump has done in his time being in the office.
It's nothing.
Right now,
It's
it's
done nothing.
COVID-19 and
What do
everything
you
else
do?
is
Give you
going
a
on.
stimulus check?
You can't even go outside and breathe
Yeah.
fresh air safely.
So he
in your-
finna give
you know,
us
in your
another
front yard.
stimulus check.
You can't go to grocery stores
So we can vote for
and
him.
buy the things that you need for your home. So with somebody making jokes and you
Right.
know, just being, like you said, insensitive, a little too cocky.
Yeah.
Now it's not the time.
No.
Especially if you won't vote.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
What you think?
Well, I wasn't gonna vote for Joe Biden, so he never had my vote to get.
How you vote for Trump?
No, I'm not voting for Trump. I see them both the same. But when he said the statement, what I was saying, it went a little bit deeper than that, because it was really, you gotta go into the mind frame of him, just the way he looked at black people, how he takes it for granted. Because he got on there and said, if you voted for Trump, you ain't black. Well, like 75% of white people vote for Republicans. I have never seen him get on national TV and say, if you voted for Trump, you ain't white. So he was only degrading black people who voted for Trump.
No, people
But
have
the
been
majority,
put down
but the
for a
majority
number
of
of
people.
years. So what?
So no, I'm just trying. This
You
is
hear what I'm
mind
saying?
frame. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly.
That's how he look
Exactly.
at you.
Right.
So if he gets in office, his policy is going to reflect it.
Oh, this is cool.
So that's why.
What you think about this, cat man?
I gotta find my cigarettes first.
Oh, right. You ain't still have to.
What's my it's right here.
I'm keeping this in the real.
What's my cigarettes? I need a cigarette. And I'll tell you everything that you want to know.
Joe Biden's situation is
It's okay.
that he don't have I have white friends and we talk plain, like my friend Kyle. If he would have said something like that, me and him would have seen somebody black at a Trump rally, and he would have said that, I wouldn't even took no offense.
And I'll be back in a minute. We'll get
And the reason,
Hey, come on now.
and the reason why is because, you know, me and Kyle got that relationship, but I do understand where other people are coming from that don't have a relationship with Joe Biden. They feel like he doesn't have the authority to say something like that. And my thing is, I really don't feel like the dude is a racist or anything like that. I feel like he said something in his cockiness, like my sister's saying, because he already knows that he fools with black people. But like they said, at this time of everything going on, police killings of young black men and things of that nature, this is not the time for that insensitive.
But what's the difference in mind frame between Biden and Trump? They both born in the 30s. They 70-year-old racist white men.
No, I don't agree with that.
Because if he says, if you vote for him, you ain't black, then Trump says, look at my black friend, my black man in the audience. They both from that same era where they got the same mind frame. It's just one is in a different party.
The reason why I say I don't think that Joe Biden is a racist.
You gotta define every case.
The reason why I don't define Joe Biden as a racist is because later on I'm gonna play a video.
I mean, I could go back on Joe Biden all the way to the 70s when he was with them segregation. When the Democrats still had him from Alabama.
Well, see, I can go back to Bird. I know about Bird, but I talked about Bird on one of my other shows. Robert Byrd, the man who was a Democrat.
There was also one from Mississippi.
But see, the thing about them is, we changed the Democratic Party. All the racists fled the Democratic Party.
He was in the party before it changed.
That's true.
And he was trying to come up.
You keep saying he was in the party before it changed. You can't force somebody out of a party.
No, I'm trying to say, look,
the dude Bird, the dude Bird was a racist, and he was a known racist. He said minorities is not going to chase him out the Democratic Party.
It's more than Bird. I'm just saying he was in the party back when there was racists in it, so he carries that same mind state that Trump has.
I don't think so.
What's the difference?
The difference is Joe Biden didn't flee because he accepted minorities in the Democratic Party. Because he's not with that. Bird didn't flee. Bird said, no minority is going to chase me out of my party. The rest of the racists in the Democratic Party went to the Republican Party because I talked about this on one of my previous shows. In the 70s, the Republicans had a strategy called the Southern Strategy.
By Nixon, I know that.
Right, by Nixon. Now the Southern Strategy was all of the racists are leaving the Democratic Party. They used to be called the Dixie Democrats. All the minorities are going to the Democrats. So now we finna set policies in place to get all of those votes.
Mm-hmm. But when he was in the party, he was running up under the Dixie Democrats.
He was.
He just didn't switch. He stayed in the Democratic Party.
He didn't because his mind state wasn't on that.
Look, this is what I'm trying to tell you what happened.
Okay.
He stayed in the Democratic Party because his state is a Democrat. And he kind of just went along with it because that's how he had to keep his seat. He can't be a segregation and represent Delaware. So he had to change in order to keep his seat. Okay. But I'm trying to tell you, his mind frame is still under that 70s act. And it shows when he talks, it shows.
I believe it.
So you thinking Joe Biden is a straight out, flat out racist, just like Donald Trump?
I don't think it's the only difference between Trump and Joe Biden is Joe Biden is part of the Democrat Party. He know a lot of colored people's watching him. Trump knows no colored people want to vote for him, so he can say what he wants to say. Joe Biden's got to think more carefully.
Okay.
He just got to think a little bit more carefully. They from the same era.
Okay.
He's from that same Trump from New York, that same era when blacks was in certain part of the neighborhood in Brooklyn, you couldn't rent to them. Okay. So he thought of less of them and all. Then he talks the same way.
So now I agree with you on that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Now check this out. Do you think that staying out will help? I don't think staying out of this will help because Joe Biden is not gonna.
No, Joe Biden would be better because he got black people that will force him. Ain't nobody black ain't nobody colored to go to the party. Okay. So you get Trump, he's gonna go crazy. Joe Biden, you got people of color that will hold him to the fire. I'm not trying to say Trump is bad. I'm trying to say just on their own, you talking about the same people. Yeah. They old 70-year-old white men back from the South. They the same thing.
The way shit going right now, Joe Biden is that guy for us colored people. Yeah, he's that guy.
So this is not gonna change. Your
you
said you're not gonna vote at all.
No, he never had my vote. I know it's right,
but you're not gonna vote at all.
I don't know. I gotta see who's all running.
He ain't got the money, but at the same time, he need these votes from these colored
What
people.
I'm trying to say, people, is that we need better people running.
Okay, now
I
want to go there.
Runners up.
I want to go there.
There.
I was talking to a young man the other day about the Godfather movies, Scarface movies, and I asked him what did he take from the movies. He said, "Oh man, when Tony Montana was doing the killing and shooting up this and that." What I took from the movies is when the Don told one of his nephews, I don't need you to be a made man. We got enough of them. I need you to be a lawyer, be a senator. Mm-hmm. That's what I took from the movies. Now, as far as the discussion turned just then to how we keep having this choice between two evils. How come we as minorities aren't stop pushing footballs in our kids' hands and saying, look, I need you to study politics, or I need you to be a lawyer, a doctor. And stand on it.
It really don't matter because it's not about pushing politics. It's the system. Do you know why Joe Biden is the nominee right now in the Democrat Party? Because the first 2 states that have the nomination are all white states. They purposely have that so any person of color runs, they will be rejected. You know, the first colored state is South Carolina. Okay. That's 4th down in the row. First is Iowa, New Hampshire, then they try to throw in Nevada. So they got 2 white states that you got to go through. Okay. Can't no person of color go through them 2 white states. Now Barack Obama has the benefits of running against that woman. Anytime you line up a woman against a man, they're gonna vote for a man. But okay. when you take that out of office,
but you do know that flooding the system gives people no choice.
What you mean flooding the system?
This is what I mean by flooding the system. I live in Tennessee. I got plenty of nieces and nephews. Some on the turn for the bad, some on the turn for the good, some ain't in that age yet. I'm in Tennessee. Got a black guy in Missouri. Got a black guy in Mississippi. Start flooding the system.
That's even worse.
How's that work?
Because if you have so many people of color running and you only got 1 white person, it's an all-white state, he wins.
What about y'all talking about flood the system?
Not necessarily.
Listen,
that's what happened. That's what happened in this cycle.
We're not even flooding the system at all.
And that's what
okay,
I
do you remember
politics, people.
Do you remember I forgot her name, Kamala Harris,
right.
Cory Booker?
Right.
You know why all of those fell flat? Because they couldn't do they from the cities where urban peoples like us live in urban day city in the projects. They know our issues. When they went to Iowa, they full of cornfields of white people. And it didn't translate. Right. So that's how they got knocked out. It wasn't because they sucked.
I understand.
It's just when you speaking to a white person who on a cornfield in Iowa, you can't. And you from New Jersey, you from California, it's not going to transfer.
Okay, but there are black people in Iowa.
So
that's what I mean by flooding the system.
But listen,
the state is 90+ white.
Okay. Let me say this. Let me say this. I hear what both of y'all are saying. Let me say this. Marcus is saying flood the system, and Lamont is saying basically we can't flood the system because it's
98% white.
It's predominantly white. So with that being said, why don't we drain the system? And what I mean by draining the system, we keep trying to have these white people fix our black people problems when we could put our black people to be our black people problems, to fix our own problems.
Enough people to stand up.
We can stand up ourselves. What about that? What about like my brother said, we need more teachers, we need more doctors, we need more lawyers. Like he said, let's start raising our kids up now. You get what I'm saying? Let's start introducing them to that now so we can help ourselves. We keep trying to fix the system that's broken.
Do y'all not think that's been going on since the end of time? The plantation people, the older days, taught their kids that to be better. They installed that in them. Okay. So what are you saying? Instead of justice system, they failed us. It's a justice system that failed us. You can be as good. You can put as much as you want to put in the black people.
We gave up.
That's not what it is.
And we keep looking for these people to fix our problems. We're not teaching our kids how to go and get a trade. We're not raising our kids to go get a trade. Like we sending them to college. By the time they get out of college, they already $20,000 in debt. Okay, that wipes them out right there, bad credit. And then we wonder why our kids and our black people already have bad credit.
Can we cut off and I'll just make an example?
We're not talking about these young fellas that just got shot down.
And how it took the system a long time to go and get the white men in the same case. If there was a white fella, that's a system.
Okay, so we know that the system is broken. Why haven't we stood up and tried to do it?
We stand up, we riot, we do all
this. But y'all ain't.
You know what they do?
Okay, so let me
say this. Talk about black people like this. That's just what we do.
So let me say this. What we do. So let me say this. She's saying we stand up and we rioting.
If we stand up, we wrong. If we don't say no, we wrong.
Jay-Z and Oprah and P. Diddy got over $1 billion by themselves.
That's 2 people.
Why ain't done built up schools? Why ain't these people with money that started getting back into our community?
You said you want.
Why ain't nobody building back up into the black community?
You said you want to teach your kids to be lawyers, doctors, politicians, go to school. How can you do that if all the black people start off in the projects? They start off in the project.
Hold up. Are you serious?
They go to the worst.
Are you serious? No. Are you serious? Because the library is free. free.
Let me finish.
It's books in there all day. You can go pick up one and
Let
read
me
one.
finish.
See,
They started the
what you
project.
trying to realize if it's babies raising babies. See, we talking about old school days.
Well, yeah,
Babies
yeah,
raising older
babies.
people wars and songs and
Babies
shit.
raising
If you got kids, if you got babies raising babies, they not gonna know what's going on out there.
Babies
Who gives a fuck about a lot of
Okay,
that?
but like you said,
Let me get the educational scheme and how they doing. If you start off in the projects, then they do school choice where they divide the whole city into school districts. And these school districts, yeah, wherever the kids go to school at, that's where the property value goes to that school. So if all the white kids go here and that's the best school, then all the black kids go here and this the worst school, do you start off behind? You already behind.
Do you think
Y'all have 15 minutes. Go ahead, speak up.
What I was just say is, as far as with the system too, and the black children growing up these days, majority of the time it's sports that's actually got these children focusing on trying to make money in sports, because I can do that quicker
And
than
that's
dealing
sad.
with politics.
That's
Because
sad.
the white people will pay more attention to
Yeah.
the black children.
And that's
when
just
it
another good
gains
point of how they keep our black
sports
kids in
and
the system. They keep our black kids there using us.
First of all, our
children's fault.
Look, our kids shouldn't be
They
a
don't
sport.
know no better.
They shouldn't be a no sport apple where they.
Yeah,
they
and we
have
gotta
to
do
be no-
sports
It's not
No.
classes in school that teach politics. They start out with a history book that they've been having for all these years, teaching us the same thing about history. They're not teaching black history. They're teaching their chosen book to teach these kids this right here, and they're not interested.
Exactly.
Because it's stuff my mama done been telling me all these years about slavery, this and that, and this and that. Well, I'm gonna go play football and be a star in football or basketball or running or whatever, and I ain't gotta worry about politics. But they fail to realize that politics is ruling what they're still trying to pursue.
Yes.
Even from the music industry,
Yes.
athletics,
Yes.
all of that.
I want my brother to
Politics
have a show
run.
on that too. When we get down
That's
to the
something that the
nitty-gritty of
school
what's all
needs
behind all
to
of
introduce
this.
to the
Yeah,
children
that's the start of it.
is politics
That's the
today.
start of it. That's the
Today's
start of it.
politics.
Yes, that's the start
Because
of
they
it.
can't teach them, because a lot of things that they went through
Yes.
is still going on, but they
Very.
never learned how to
Very.
overcome it.
That's right.
Now,
And
So
let me
they
say this.
still living
Let me say
in
this.
necessity.
That's true.
Let Catman get what he want to say in. And then we'll go to you, brother. 'Cause I know you ready to get
Out of
in.
all of that, I still feel like on top of that, you right, sis, but I feel like we should be taking a step and teaching our kids at home too.
Yeah, you gotta teach
I feel like it
them.
don't stop.
children.
It do not stop at
But
the
when they
school.
go to school
It
every
don't-
day,
it don't stop
and
at
they
the
with
school.
them teachers majority of their day,
Right, but it don't
and
stop
being
there.
taught this
Cause it takes a village.
It's bigger than us.
From
It's
12
like
to
it don't
13.
stop.
Are you
One
So
saying-
that's when the
year
community
is
got to
bigger
get in and
than
have
us.
these groups and group
Exactly.
meetings.
We can sit and talk about this forever, people.
So is it why that the black kids do the sports, or is it like for
It's
the
divided.
white man's entertainment?
It's
or something?
divided.
Basically,
It's
that's what I'm
saying.
I'm gonna talk on that. I'm gonna talk on that.
What
No,
you
no, no.
said.
That's what it sounds like when you think
Don't
about it.
have their mind. And then when they lose,
Yeah.
they all down their back.
Right.
Right.
Then when they quit, you
Right.
wonder why they quit.
I'm gonna tell you a sad example.
So-
Hey,
Hold on, let
Okay,
Catman speak
Okay.
what he gonna say, and then.
let me say this. In North Carolina, everybody loved Duke. What's the little coach? Duke.
University.
No, the coach.
Oh, Coach Dean.
Coach Dean. He had so many. He recruits every black little kid wants to go to Duke.
Right.
That black basketball team pays that whole college tuition, all the teachers' salary, the
Right.
upkeep of the building. It's just the jerseys and stuff they sell.
Right.
They did a study when they went to North Carolina and see how many black kids from
Duke University.
that state that was actually bringing from high school. It was just so low.
Right.
So they making money on all these kids that come to Duke. They pay all the teachers $1 million salaries, and then the kids don't get nothing.
Right.
Then you know half of them make it to the NBA. So
Right.
they drop out and
Right.
they graduate and go back and get the best buy job.
Right.
But you done built this whole college and stayed up.
Right.
You got nothing from. So they just using your kids
That's it.
for entertainment.
Yeah.
Because you know 1% of them make it to the NBA.
Right.
That's true.
That's
Go
it.
ahead, Catman.
He almost made me.
That part. All right, cut the commercial.
What's the next
All
topic?
of that shit, no money, none of that matters. If that's your child, it starts from you. It starts from you. These kids out here running around and this and this and this and this. It's not the kids. It's the parents. It starts from them. They didn't just make this shit up. They only doing what they know how to do because nobody ever told them better.
Now you can tell your children and teach them a lot of stuff, and they still do stuff that you never
Okay,
taught.
you can say that.
They gon' strike.
Okay, you can say that, and then I'm not saying nothing any different from that. It's the same thing. It's gonna be what it is.
Okay. We finna take a commercial break, and when we get back, we're gonna take a commercial break. As you see, I got an interesting family. We have a lot of different views on things, and we're gonna take a slight commercial break. And when we come back, we're gonna start talking about the Arbery case and the two men, actually 3 men that's been charged now to chase them down and kill them. We're gonna talk about this case and the impact on things like that that's going on in the community. Thank you, people.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Hi, my name is Allison Banks. I am the owner of A+ Jewels and also a consultant for Paparazzi Accessories. Today I would like to give you all the opportunity to take a look at some of the 5-piece jewelry that we have to offer. I became a consultant on May the 15th with the purchase of a $99 kit that got me started. There are prices that vary where you can get started and be your own business owner. I'm very glad to say that I've had a lot of experience since I've started with the different people that I've interacted with, the different products that I've seen, and today you can also take a part in that. Our slogan is to bring strength, independence, and empowerment to individuals and their families by building confidence and financial freedom through affordable fashion. While $5 jewelry may not change the world, we believe those who wear it. My sister here is wearing a few of the A+ Jewels pieces. This is the top dollar necklace, and these are the Glissy Gamble earrings with the ring and the bracelet to match. You can purchase these on my website if you're interested, and which will be posted down below in the comments. Here we have another model, which is my sister, and she is wearing the beautiful blue set with the necklace, the ring, the bracelet, and the silver white diamond earrings. Again, if you would like to purchase this, interested in any way, check out my webpage, which will be listed at the bottom. Thank you. Our slogan with A+ Jewels and also with Paparazzi is to bring strength and independence, empowerment to individuals and their families by building confidence and financial freedom through affordable fashion. While $5 jewelry may not change the world, we believe those who wear it will.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
All right, good people, we're back with the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. Now, as I told you before, I'm here with my family, my siblings, and their significant others. And we always have these discussions. Sometimes we play cards, sometimes we play dominoes, and I know some of you out there can identify with your own family, how you sit around and discuss politics and things that's going on in the communities. Now, we're going to continue on with part 2 to this sibling talk, and we're going to talk about the Arbery case that's going on in Georgia.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The Quarantine Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Following weeks of outcry, authorities have arrested a 3rd white man for the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, the 25-year-old black man who was chased down and shot to death February 23rd while on a jog on a Sunday in Georgia. William Bryan was arrested Thursday on charges of felony murder and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. He filmed the disturbing video showing Arbery jogging down a narrow road in Brunswick, Georgia, in broad daylight before being confronted by two armed white men and shot 3 times. The 3 men walked free for months after Arbery's murder. But after the video went viral and sparked mass outrage, Arbery's attackers, retired police officer Greg McMichael and his son Travis, were both arrested and charged with murder and aggravated assault earlier this month. Lee Merritt, the Arbery family attorney, said the video shows Arbery was chased by the McMichaels in their car for over 4 minutes before they killed him. Gregory McMichael is a former Glynn County police officer who also worked as a prosecutorial investigator. Advocates say McMichael's ties to law enforcement shielded him from immediate arrest for Arbery's killing, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has opened an investigation into Arbery's case for possible prosecutorial misconduct. Brunswick Judicial Circuit DA Jackie Johnson recused herself from the case because McMichael had worked in her office as an investigator. The Arbery case has passed through 4 district attorneys' offices. Ahmaud Arbery was murdered after briefly entering a construction site. Texts uncovered over the weekend show a Glynn County police officer instructed the owner of the property to notify Greg McMichael if he noticed any trespassers. But surveillance video shows multiple people, a number of them white, entered the construction site to look around, but only Arbery was killed for the alleged trespassing. The homeowner, Larry English's attorney, has issued a statement that said, quote, "It now appears that this young man may have been coming onto the property for water."
All right, people, we're going to open up the discussion again with my family members, my siblings. This is sibling talk. And I want to start this one off. Because I have some serious issues with all of this is going on. I think the homeowner, myself, and the cop that told the homeowner to talk to the McMichaels if somebody goes on their property, I think they should be charged too. And the reason why is because, number one, the police officer should know better than telling a private citizen to call another private citizen if something goes on. He should have told the homeowner to call the police. And then on top of that, how, in my eyes, how did the McMichaels get the videotape that was sent to his phone? Because he did a CNN interview with Ahmaud Arbery, and on the CNN interview, he was with his lawyer. He said that any video that comes out of that house, motion capture sensor comes on, and it sends videotape directly to his phone. So how did the McMichaels get videotape to even know that that young man was in his house unless he called them? And that led to that man's death. So I think he should be charged too, but nobody's talking about that whole part of it. So I'm gonna open up the discussion and see what y'all think about this whole situation.
I can answer the first question. The reason I got the video, because it was a racist neighborhood. They all had cameras up. So everybody had a camera in front. That's how they saw him run through the house.
They had numerous break-ins.
What this really shows is just it shows racism and ignorance, and how we go back to the beginning. How it's all about the system. It's not about what you can do. Because if you break it down, he said he was doing a citizen arrest. To do a citizen arrest, you got to witness a person committing felony. The only thing he saw him doing was living in the house. So at best, that's trespassing. Right. That's not a felony. So he got a gun, got in the truck, and chased down a man for doing trespassing. And that's at best. That's if you can prove that he was trespassing. Right. So you basically killed somebody for a non-felony offense. So that's why I said he should have been arrested on day one. So when he went for 3 months, just to let you know, it's the system. Yeah. There is no black person in that, Brunswick, Georgia? With the DA, the prosecutor, right. There's no black person in there. So they just bypassed it. The police bypassed it. The mayor bypassed it. Then when people get to rioting and threaten to kill people, then CNN come with a camera. Then they want to try to change things. Right. So it's all back to the system. If you ain't controlling the system, you can do anything you want to do. You're going to fail.
I think we all in agreement to that. But what do y'all think about the whole situation with the cop and the homeowner himself?
That's the whole neighborhood was like that.
When you take the law in your own hands, this is what you get. If you let the justice system work for the justice system, and that means all laws apply to all citizens, then we'll get the better outcome of what we need to get. This is going to happen all the time in any neighborhood because we targeting, we're only human. We all got stuff wrong or whatever in this case. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it was premeditated because this small community looked out for their own. It was based on race or whatever. They charted this person for the simple fact, and they all sit behind the scenes. It was numerous tapes behind this. They had all pre-planned, and when this dude ran through the hood again, they was already ready for him. That's what y'all not seeing behind the scenes. They're not showing that.
That neighborhood
it's many hours of tapes.
They had a neighborhood Facebook group where they all had cameras.
It was white to the black to all types of people walking them out.
It was a private Facebook group.
They targeted that black.
But the thing is, the homeowner, for the police officer to tell the homeowner to call another individual.
That's illegal too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, the homeowner had to get that ding on his phone and send them that video for them to either identify who it was that was running.
That whole neighborhood did that. They sent it to
the homeowner to
Yeah.
send them that video.
Yeah.
And then for evidently they sent the video to the dude to record it.
Right. It was a targeted
So
attack.
it's like a
target
that whole neighborhood
all of
private
from the police officer, the homeowner, the guys
Right.
who recorded it too.
And then all the other people that was in and out of there, why didn't nobody go out hunt them?
They wasn't targeted.
It wasn't targeted. It was actually.
So we all in agreement that they had a neighborhood thing going on.
Yeah.
What we said,
It was a neighborhood watch, y'all. That's what was going on. Which is nothing wrong with that, people.
Right.
We want a neighborhood watch. We want to feel safe in our own community.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with
But
it.
what went wrong is when you targeted out.
It was
That one person.
You targeted out. It wasn't about the one person. It could have been white, Hispanic, it could have been anybody. But they targeted out a black man.
That one man.
You know, it was many numbers. They could have, if it was 2 or 3 of them, that they went out there on numerous cases. But on this particular day, they targeted out that one black man.
Yeah.
Which they had numerous recordings of people going in there.
Yep.
They knew this man was gonna jog up and down that street. He been doing it. He from that neighborhood.
now the homeowner.
They said that.
Now the homeowner did say he thinks that Arbery was going in to drink some water.
Yeah.
But they had a faucet or something in there.
That's the most.
What did he take anything?
And I'm gonna say, what did he steal? I mean, what?
It's a construction
It's
site.
trespassing.
And did y'all see the footage where they had attempted to they was harassing him a few months before he even got killed?
Now
See that?
that's a whole nother issue.
How they
How the victim is always, especially when he's black, they try to go back in their past and find something.
They targeted him already.
You know,
To make him sound.
He said he was just at the point running.
Like a vigilante.
He said, man, I'm just here running.
Something.
Right.
They said, well, we had another
What this going to do
yeah.
is it demonstrate that the law just don't apply to black people. Because if the situation was reversed, if me and you tried to do a citizen arrest on somebody who's just running through the yard, we be killed the first day.
The U.S. Marshals and everything.
Yeah, the fact that they chased this man down with a shotgun, killed him, and his greatest offense in court will be trespassing.
And he didn't even
And they didn't go to jail.
You know, he was just trying to get away.
And they didn't even go to jail.
He did fight at the end.
I know it.
When he saw he couldn't get away.
Right.
That's normal.
Right.
That's normal.
You got these folks riding up on you.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand, they chased him for 4 minutes. Did you see the trap? They chased that man for 4 minutes, then he looped back around. Then the other one, he couldn't turn back, so he's running. Zigzag. You can't do that. For trespassing. Trespassing.
Plenty of time to
He didn't even have no evidence.
And be like, we got
You probably said that under the jail.
officers sit down here. We're gonna try to keep them in the circle.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't have to go
We
try
just
to
don't
keep
keep
him.
eyes on him until
He didn't have a gun, he didn't pull a gun out, whatever, you know, so why?
The man's greatest offense was trespassing.
And then if they had the video, all they would have to do was send the video to the police. And
That's
right.
And that's that on that. Let them
So
continue running down the
let
street.
So let me
But
ask
they
y'all
took
this.
the law in there.
Do y'all think that
To do
DA
it.
who had his case the first time, do y'all think she needs to be in jail too?
He worked for him.
Do y'all think she needs to be in jail?
Everybody that is on the case needed to. I'm not in jail. Everybody that is on that case.
It's some kind of punishment, something?
Yeah.
Something?
Yeah.
I don't think she should be put in jail, but I think she should be reprimanded and fired. Right.
Yeah.
Because
I think she'll be in jail.
well, actually, if you
That's
think
murder.
about
That's
it,
murder.
she
It's a
she
little.
removed herself from the case, so she did what she needed to do to cover her ass.
Marcus, she didn't remove
But
her.
it wasn't in a decent amount of time.
Marcus, look,
That's
Marcus,
true.
she didn't remove her case. What she did, she found the evidence, then told the police you can't arrest him. Then after she said that, then you can't prejudge a case.
Right.
Then after you make the judgment, you take yourself off of it.
Right.
You was accomplice to murder.
Right.
Because if you, that's what I'm saying. She should be in jail.
She's guilty. The blood is on her hands.
And then the second DA did what she did. He said, I found him innocent. You can't arrest him, but I take myself off the case.
Right.
So you got two people who did a prejudge and excluded themselves, and the third one was going to do the same thing, but the video leaked. No, he was on track to do the same damn thing, but the video leaked.
Wow.
That's the only reason he didn't.
They put the video out themselves because they thought it was going to.
It's that whole neighborhood.
It's hot. You right behind somebody knowing that something finna go down. You know something finna happen.
He actually had a gun cocking in the video.
Wow.
Exactly.
He had a weapon
So
too.
if they didn't take care of, he was prepared to finish it off.
Right. Did you hear the 911 call? The 911 call, the lady says, he's running down the street. She says, sir, what is he doing? He's running down the street from the house.
Wow.
What is he doing?
Yeah.
She said it twice to him. He wasn't committing a crime.
Right.
That's the whole purpose she was trying to get through there.
Right.
Bad part.
Yeah, that's sad.
So,
Like, what is he doing for these people?
Yeah, he just said he running down the house. She repeated, what is he doing?
Now, I think we all in pretty much an agreement on this whole Arbery case. I want to open up the discussion on anything else you guys want to talk about until I bring up the next subject.
well, with that, speaking on the Arbery case, how do y'all feel being black in America right now?
That's a good topic.
You gotta be scared. Are you cautious?
I feel good. I think
I mean,
everybody
you know.
should just perform being themselves.
Yeah, you just have,
You know, have your strong beliefs.
at all times.
And we raising
In the wrong or
kids,
in the right.
we're doing nothing wrong. Just trying to be ourselves and just trying to live. We all trying to get somewhere in life. You know what I'm saying? If you're not bothering, you're not killing, you're not stealing, just try to be the best you can be. And that's all of us. You know what I'm saying? I feel good being black in America.
I think you just gotta be aware because one thing
Of
about
course.
the black
I'm scared
people
for our
in America,
children.
Black people's the only people that you was criminalized. Just you is the crime. Anytime a black person enters the scene, it becomes criminal.
Right.
You go into the bank, you're trying to rob the bank.
Right.
You go into the gas station, you're trying to rob the gas station.
Right.
You go into the school, you disrupt the class.
You go to the store, you try to
Black people are only people that you is the crime when you enter the crime. When you enter
We
the scene.
can't say only black people.
It's not just
Minorities
minorities.
are all targeted. We
But
all
it's
are.
worse on the black
I had to get these on today,
It's
people.
worse on the black race.
All lives matter. I'm not prejudiced by far. I care for my black people, but I care for all of us.
Do you know why they said all lives matter?
We're not going to dispute about that. I'm just saying all of us matter.
Edit that out. Don't put that inside. This is a diss towards black people. They came up with this. Don't wear this shit. There's no all lives matter, bro.
Oh my God.
That's crazy.
I say this, with being black and the coronavirus running out here, we got a double whammy no matter what.
No matter
but
what.
we gotta be cautious of everything we do, our surroundings.
Yeah.
But you wanna live a peaceful, happy life to the
Right.
best of your ability.
Right.
And it's so bad now that even I was just riding down the street the other day. My son was in front of me, and I was waiting on him, and I told the car to go around. White man hollered out, "You fucking nigger!"
Wow.
I'm telling you to go. Yeah, we was over at the baby shower. My son went over here, and I was just sitting there waiting on him to go around.
Wow.
And so I was like, I'm telling him to go around, but like that guy right beside me, he did that and said that, and I'm like, I got the cussing back, but I said to myself, okay, I got my son over here, his family over here. This could turn into a real ugly situation if this man want to jump out the car or whatever, and then he jump out running at me. And what if I would have ran over him? Because I'm scared, thinking he finna come try to do something. It could have been an ugly situation. But that's just one day out of every day that there's so many things happening that you just have to be aware.
And this whole Trump situation, I've said in one of my previous shows that it's like I talked about the Civil War and how they never cut the head off the snake. When the North won the Civil War and they contained all of the Confederate Army soldiers and the senators that tried to break off and have their own country, it's like they detained these people for 2 or 3 years and then sent them home with a promise that they would never go back into government and never take up arms against the United States. When we go into a situation like Iraq or Afghanistan, we cut the head off the snake. We kill the leaders, we kill the leaders, and we kill the generals.
We used to do that. We don't do it now.
Them people never stop having kids. That's why you see in the South, they got all of these statues of these Confederate leaders.
Still going.
They were still feeding their hatred. Even though they never rose up against the United States again, they kept feeding their hatred into the system.
See, you took the wrong lesson from that. The lesson from that is the Union was never fighting for black people. The Union was just fighting for the Union.
I talked about that too.
See, once the Union, look.
No, see, I got to say something about that before you say that I never talked about that. This is what I said about that. The South was trying to get aid from Europe to help them fight against Lincoln, because the South was selling a lot of cotton, using slavery to sell a lot of cotton to Europe. So what Lincoln did, and I want y'all to understand this because y'all can look anything up I talk about when it comes to history. What Lincoln did was he decided to free the slaves. He told Europe, if y'all help the South, y'all are in violation of y'all in contradiction of y'all own morals, because Europe released the slaves years before the Civil War even happened. They had slaves too, but they abolished slavery years before. So Lincoln told them, if y'all help the South fight against us, y'all in violation, because y'all been released y'all slaves, but they still have slaves. So what he did, he declared that proclamation that all slaves was free, and Europe had to back up off the South.
Well, what I was trying to tell you, I wasn't trying to say you didn't know that. What I was trying to say, that's the reason why Reconstruction ended. Because the purpose wasn't to free the slaves, it was to maintain the Union. Once the Union was maintained, they didn't really care about it. So they just said, y'all go back to Jim Crow them, hanging them, doing what you want to do. As long as y'all just don't rise up against America. And that's what they did. So they just let you know black people was never the focus or the objective.
But it's politics, so why would we have ever thought that anyway?
Now, some
people the reason why is because the history books in school teach that. They teach you Lincoln freed the slaves because he was trying to keep Europe from getting themselves involved in the Civil War.
You teaching somebody something today.
Yeah,
a lot of politics. A lot of people did not know that.
Wow.
So
it goes back to that history book I was talking about. The Thank You books.
Wow.
The next subject I want to talk about leads into that. It's going to be on. Hold on, just a second. I'm gonna edit this part out.
That's good. I didn't know that. So it's basically like the South and then America. Is that basically what you said?
No,
the South and then America. Because you said that they was trying to keep the Union.
During the Civil War, the South tried to leave America. That's why they broke up to the Confederacy.
Okay.
Yeah, they was trying to. Now the Confederacy, they had agriculture, but the North had factories and more people.
Right.
So the South was trying to get help from Europe. He's telling the truth.
Right.
So that was just, they had lots of schemes. So actually, when they lost, they went back and did Reconstruction. Reconstruction, you were supposed to take the African Americans and make them people.
And
so
at
they
that
started
point,
pointing
you know,
to brother
in the
and
North,
all.
they put on the Africans are already been free in the North.
But this only went on for like 5 or 6 years. Then after 5 or 6 years, they cut it and said, y'all can go back to treating them how y'all want to. And that's what we got right now.
Right, slavery never came back, but because
they wrote an amendment for it now. So that's why a lot of it could come back, but they still held on to that mentality, that mind frame. Right. You know what I'm saying? That they still promoted it in their cities, in their towns, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? It never went away.
And then they don't.
They just go to show the justice. It's for politics.
It wasn't because we like us so much.
He was just trying to preserve the Union.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know that.
All right, people that watch my show, as you can tell, you know, we got a lot of opinions in my family, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. This is going to be my last segment, and we're going to get back into the coronavirus. We're going to talk about how the coronavirus is killing more blacks and Latinos than there are whites, and how people are opening up this the whole society after they found out that the whole coronavirus is killing 70% of us. So when we get back off this commercial break, we're going to get into it.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Hi, my name is Allison Banks. I am the owner of A+ Jewels and also a consultant for Paparazzi Accessories. Today I would like to give you all the opportunity to take a look at some of the 5-piece jewelry that we have to offer. I became a consultant on May the 15th with the purchase of a $99 kit that got me started. There are prices that vary where you can get started and be your own business owner. I'm very glad to say that I've had a lot of experience since I've started with the different people that I've interacted with, the different products that I've seen, and today you can also take a part in that. Our slogan is to bring strength, independence, and empowerment to individuals and their families by building confidence and financial freedom through affordable fashion. While $5 jewelry may not change the world, we believe those who wear it. My sister here is wearing a few of the A+ Jewels pieces. This is the top dollar necklace, and these are the glitzy gamble earrings with the ring and the bracelet to match. You can purchase these on my website if you're interested, and which will be posted down below in the comments. Here we have another model, which is my sister, and she is wearing the beautiful blue set with the necklace, the ring, the bracelet, and the silver white diamond earrings. Again, if you would like to purchase this, interested in any way, check out my webpage, which will be listed at the bottom. Our slogan with A+ Jewels and also with Paparazzi is to bring strength and independence, empowerment to individuals and their families by building confidence and financial freedom through affordable fashion. While $5 jewelry may not change the world, we believe those who wear it will.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
All right, good people, this is the Daily Read, and we back, and I'm continuing on with this discussion with my family. We're gonna do this every 2 months, man. We're gonna give it to y'all live every 2 months, man. I'm gonna bring my siblings in on my topics and the things on my show. I think this is gonna be a good thing because we represent the black community, the minority community, and a lot of these same discussions are going on inside of different people's houses and homes. So on this last discussion, on this last segment, we're gonna talk about how the coronavirus is affecting more minorities in their communities than whites. Also how the white majority that's in this country is going around wanting to reopen, and a lot of these people are in the know. They know that this virus is killing the majority of minorities, and the body bags are piling up people. So we're gonna get into this last discussion.
Look at this chart. You can see African Americans represent 41% of COVID-19 deaths. The next closest race, Caucasian at 28%. We want to bring in Dr. Frank McGeorge, and Frank, I've said this all along, that's a significant difference.
Yeah, it sure is, and it's a trend being seen around the country as many states and regions are breaking down the numbers by race. No doubt the COVID-19 pandemic has affected African Americans very differently than other races, and the reasons need to be investigated. Whether you're talking about Michigan, where 33% of cases but 40% of deaths have occurred in African Americans, or Illinois, where 29% of cases but 42% of deaths were in blacks, COVID-19 is causing a higher rate of deaths in African Americans. In Louisiana, 70% of people killed by COVID-19 are black, even though they only represent 32% of the state's population. Now, the reason for this needs more analysis, but we do know, overall, African Americans are more likely to suffer from high blood pressure and diabetes. Both are risk factors that have been identified in other countries for developing more severe disease in COVID-19. Now, many speculate that the COVID-19 pandemic is helping to uncover health disparities that have long existed in America. Another avenue being investigated is whether there could be genetic and physiologic factors that could make certain races more susceptible to SARS-CoV.
All right, family, we just heard the numbers. Now, this goes beyond racism, even though that's a serious thing. This is life and death, and I want to open this discussion up on this serious topic because I feel like 2 weeks into the whole coronavirus thing, when it came out that the coronavirus was killing mostly blacks and Latinos, especially in New York, that's when there was this big push to stop the social distancing, stop closing down the economy for this. It's basically how they put it was, you shouldn't stop the economy for a few deaths. And those few deaths that they're talking about are us. So I want to open up this discussion and talk about how y'all feel about this and what y'all think is going on with this.
Well, with that being said, it's like the coronavirus is just attacking black people, and then the white people, I guess, trying to get as rid of as many of us as they can. Because if they opening everything back up and it's just killing us, they like, hell, fine, we can move on as long as most of the deaths are black. Mm-hmm. We willing to lose a few of our own for the majority black death.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Right. And to bring it back to what you was talking about, in the beginning when this thing first hit, it was an actual Chinese doctor who came out, and he, if you remember it was a Chinese doctor who broke the internet, and he was saying that the antibodies in black people is 2 or 3 times stronger, which it was preventing us from dying from this virus until the media caught hold some weeks later, and then they start saying that the highest death rate now was black people. And I feel like the reason why it had transitioned from that was because I feel like they are letting our black people die in the hospitals. I feel like they're sending them home. I feel like they're not properly treating them. I feel like they're properly not diagnosing them. I feel like if they see they have symptoms of, they're not immediately acting on it. Whereas if a white person was to come in there, they would have all the medicines, all the incubeds or whatever they need. I feel like that is, all of the breathing machines, ventilators and all that stuff. I feel like that they would have that. So I feel like the reason why a lot of African Americans are dying from this is because they are letting us die from this virus. So my concept on this is I suggest all of the African Americans is to just be cautious, be very careful. Eat your stuff that is going to help your immune system, because it's an immune system virus. So eat stuff that's going to build up your immune system to where it can fight off this virus effectively. So that's just my input on it. I feel like we're not dying. I feel like they're letting us die.
Okay, I want to say this. In America, we got the right to speak. The freedom of speech is an amendment. Okay, we got the right to say anything. Mm-hmm. And we got the weak and we got the strong. It's people's gonna take whatever someone says and run with it. Mm-hmm. That's not what it is. This disease is killing all of us.
It's killing everybody.
It ain't no one no bigger than the other. And I think the reason why it's killing minorities and blacks, it's just not blacks. They never said it was just blacks. It's blacks and minorities. And I think it's why it's because of our social distances, our environment, how we was brought up, and the things that we do. The white people do the same thing. I'm not saying that, people. I'm saying we all Americans. We all do this and that. We all used to what we do. But why it's catching? And we got to remember that it's the disease. We got to define the disease and why it's hitting us so hard. We already have been defined before this disease even came from: diabetes, heart disease, AIDS. Well, I'm not going to even start with the AIDS and the sexually transmitted, but it's a lot of diseases behind us already that's going to put us down. They already said the disease hit us harder if you already got something enabling you. Mm-hmm. We're not paying attention to that. And I think when they threw that on the news about minorities and blacks getting hit so hard, they didn't put an understanding behind it, and we as black people just took that and ran with it as we usually do. I'm just saying, it's not right and it's not wrong, people. As a culture, it's just the way things are said, the way things are did in this country. It's not right, it's not wrong. But us as humans and us as a people, we take things and we run with it. That's not statistic wise. Okay, even though they put it on the news, even though they do this and they do that, that's not making what is what is. We know they don't put the same rules up for everybody. Everybody be getting it. It ain't nothing from the white. They not separating them like it was back in the 50s and 60s and water fountains and this. Everybody got the same laws, the same rules, everything going on. We not paying attention as people.
Okay.
Is what I'm thinking.
Okay,
So
now
we're
let you speak
I'm
your
not
piece.
trying to
Let you
say.
speak your piece.
And then can I?
No, you done had your turn. She done had her turn. Okay, he's the
So,
forum.
but can I?
We got
He's
to
the
pay
forum.
attention.
But can I?
Oh,
He's the forum. You
Oh,
direct.
Y'all got anything to say?
We got to pay attention as people. We
He's
got to
the
pay
forum.
attention.
38% of the population, but 70% of the deaths. That's something you can't ignore that. You can't
Statistics.
at all.
Listen.
I was gonna speak
No,
on that.
we're not ignoring it.
Are
We're
you
not
not the
ignoring it.
forum?
We're not ignoring it.
You got that's why I
You can't see the thing that the Chinese, the white, black, Italians, everybody not dying from the same disease.
Hold on, Diddy.
Y'all can't say that.
You spoke your piece.
It's 38% though. We 38% of the population.
You the
But
forum.
we
He's the forum.
70% of the deaths.
Right?
Think about that.
Yeah.
We ain't even half of the population, but we over half.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you my.
Okay, but I'm just stating, and what I'm saying is not written down in the book, y'all.
Right.
It's just that I'm trying to get to the bottom of why y'all thinking that instead of putting it all on racism, everybody want to point fingers at what's going on here. We all gotta say so on what we do and how we do it. Of course, if we gathered up and we doing what we always do as people, we know what our black communities do. We know what we do. We do.
Look,
But at the end of the day, if one of us get it, we go back. You know what I'm saying? We come on now. How many of us gonna get it?
think about this.
You know what I'm saying?
Think about
So
this.
y'all gotta pay attention.
Think about this. It's 7 people in here. If we all 7 got it, 5 of us gonna die.
If 7 whites get it, at least one of them gonna die.
Okay.
That's facts. That's
So
not.
now
That's
y'all done took this over to a whole
No,
nother thing.
that's not. That's what.
That's what the
They're
whole
counting the
thing
bodies.
is.
They're not counting
That's what
statistics.
black and
Listen,
white.
now,
I'm
it's not about control on what you get it.
Let me speak my
It's
piece.
not out of our control on who
Okay,
dies
let me
from
speak
it.
my piece. Let me
So
speak my
now
piece.
you done hit a whole nother
I'll let you
thing right
say
there.
what you're gonna say.
I'm trying to get us in now.
Let him say
We
it.
can't help you get it,
I'll let you.
but we can help you die
I
from
was trying to get an understanding of what you were saying,
it. Right?
and for what I was getting from you is that.
But I'm not saying who's helped in the hospitals.
And from what I'm getting from you is, from your understanding, your side of it is, from what I'm thinking you saying, okay, is that we wrong because we looking at statistics, but anybody can get it.
I'm talking about the spreading of the disease.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the
Okay.
definitive of who gets help.
Let him
Okay.
finish.
Now, because that's a whole nother category there.
Okay, now I get you.
Right, I'm talking about how it's spread.
Okay, I get you. But the facts are that when people catch this, mostly blacks die from this.
Okay, that's a whole.
And what I opened up the discussion on was when the administration and the people caught wind of this, now all of a sudden you got all of these white people picketing to open up. They know that we mostly are dying from this.
Mm-hmm.
They know this. They done found this out.
Right.
They don't care. They want to keep their portfolios going. They want to keep their stock market going. They want to keep their jobs going. They don't care about us dying. That's what we're talking. That's what we're talking about. Of course, by us doing bad things and moving around bad, we can't all get it.
Right.
I understand that. But the facts of it is that we are mostly being killed by it.
Okay.
And that's they counting the bodies. They're not just looking at percentage. They looking at the people up under them sheets in New York that's being put inside those refrigerated units.
Right.
Them black and Latinos.
Yeah.
The white people are getting rolled out.
Recovered.
They clapping for them
Yeah.
when they rolling them out the hallways, but the blacks are being carried out the back in body bags. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
Okay.
Anything?
I
Go
think,
ahead.
look,
nother-
I think it's actually a blessing, and I think this coronavirus probably.
Everybody let
Now you gotta let me get mine.
Right.
Let me get my opinion out too. I think it's a blessing. It's probably the best thing that happened, especially for black people, because it did nothing but reveal the injustice. Go back to the system. No, you laugh at it, but when I break it down, now you could laugh at
It's
it.
the system thing.
But when I break it down, now the reason why blacks die more than whites in this situation is because of redlining. back in the 50s and 60s when we migrated to the Midwest and the Northeast, they segregated the neighborhoods we could go into. They didn't put us in small neighborhoods that wasn't wide, so they built up to the ceiling. Now all the buildings we live in from the Midwest to the Northeast, all under the same ventilation. So when one person got sick in New York, all the black people got sick.
Wow.
White people don't live in apartments, they live in houses. That's why you die, they don't die.
Wow.
But you didn't know that until you started dying. That's why I said this is the best thing that happened, because it revealed the problem now we can solve.
Right.
So everything is not a curse. Sometimes you can look at death and you can learn something from it.
Right.
So our apartments and ventilation is messed up because we live and stacked on each other. Our neighborhoods is messed up because we live in confined and strapped to each other.
Yeah.
We don't have to go to hospitals, we go to clinics, which is small, and they still in the ventilation.
Right.
So when one person get in the black neighborhood, we all get it.
Right.
When one white person get it, they go home to a house, they go to a good hospital.
Right.
That's the death. So that's why you got more.
Now that's
Everything.
definitive.
Right.
Now,
Right.
see, I like that.
So
That's
basically, so
It's the best thing that
but it's more than like everybody that's dying don't just live in high rise. That's true.
No, I'm saying that explains the
I
disparity.
don't understand.
That's the disparity because you said it was 38 or 70. I was saying that's that disparity because most of us live in apartments.
It's also the healthcare system too. The healthcare system not as good as
we go to clinics. We don't go to because we can't afford it.
That basically is what I was going back to say, that they are letting us die.
Yeah.
They are letting us die. They are letting us
the
die.
system.
They are letting us die.
It's the system
Point
though.
blank period.
And they want to
that's
open it
it.
up so more can die.
And they
But you gotta understand from a white
It's
person's
gonna be a
perspective.
quick deaths for black people.
If
they can open it back
if
up,
a white
and then have
person
to close it in
lives,
2 months.
if a white person lives, they live in houses.
500,000 black people.
Look, if they live in houses,
So what do
and they
y'all
live
have?
separated.
Y'all look in that camera and tell us what do we need to do?
He's talking.
I'm saying they
He's trying to tell you.
No, he's
What he was
not.
trying
He's
to
talking about what's going on.
Yeah.
What I'm
But you
saying,
didn't
what
say
the solution?
I mean, like,
What is the solution?
like you said, they giving
And you know,
everybody
we
the
can all
same
sit
rules.
talk
I was
about
saying,
it. I'm saying, what is the solution?
I was just gonna say
Say
you
you're going
gotta
after.
see it. You gotta see it from the other person's perspective. If you're a white person and you're not staying in the projects in no apartment, or you're not in no confined area, you're in a house and you got a hospital, you're not dying that much. So you losing money because your business not open. So it's not more that I don't want to open to kill black people. I want to open to get my business started because we live in separate and we can fight this virus.
Wow.
Now if you want to die because when we
Wow.
opened up, all y'all stuck together in the same apartment.
Wow.
But we not. So you gotta see it from their perspective. It's not that we want to kill you. We want to open up because we live separate. We live in houses. We got ventilation.
So do you think that's barbaric?
It's the strongest of all.
It's
That's America.
politics.
Wow.
That's been going on
Dang.
since the ages.
The world we live in.
What are they saying
That's
about?
crazy.
But it goes
That's
back.
That's some strong
It goes
shit.
back.
And I want to say
That's
something else too
crazy.
about how
He's the forum.
you know
so at least let him
you
use
got
it.
everything you saying is true. It goes back to the system. We have been known to have that's why Obama worked on Obamacare, because he wanted to give people health care. And they still, to this day, even with coronavirus going on, trying to tear it down. Because I think it goes right back to racism. We had one of the most racist presidents in the White House.
Yeah.
And then Didi asked about what's the solution? Joe Biden. We can't keep having this administration 4 more years with a deadly virus running through this country. We can't have that. And I think Joe Biden, he is gonna put his foot down and run shit like it's supposed to be ran. Go ahead, Cat Man.
And you have the question. For the shit that's going on now, if people didn't elect Trump and they elect Biden, how is Biden gonna fix what's going on right now with this corona? Stop.
Okay.
Minus the money. Stop. Let me finish my question.
Okay.
Minus the money. The stimulus, fuck these stimulus packages.
Okay.
But if, Trump is giving these stimulus packages in for people to vote for him. That's it. That's all the stimulus packages are for.
Stimulus packages for the economy.
Getting this. Can I
It
speak?
puts
You
money
spoke.
right back in
Can I
it. If
speak?
we paying them
Let him finish.
for
Let
stupid
him
shit.
finish.
It's stupid.
Let
That's
him
why
finish.
I'm not going to pay anybody.
Let him finish. I see where you're going with this. Let him finish.
giving us this money for us, especially the minority group of people, to vote for him again. Because the minority is all he got. The rich people is only a handful. You mean? That's none of the votes. Yes, money. But it's not
my ass like he got Gentry.
I
still wait on my stimulus already.
Long story short, let me say that. Get this stimulus package and vote for this motherfucker if you want to. This man gonna get this money back. Cause we go if he get win again, he done for 4 years, right? He gonna get this money back. Huh? Donald Trump is the best, is one of the best dope dealers ever. While we out here. Fucking all America.
But all the stimulus money, I already know that everybody's going to use it to go right back in the economy.
Now
the renters, the restaurants, everybody, every bit of money you get is going right back into the tax. It's going back into the economy. They boosted. What they did was they boosted the economy.
I was with you when you started talking about the votes. He thinks in his mind that blacks is about money and that little stimulus check, so they're gonna vote for him when he signed his name on that check. I was with you, but you kind of threw me out there for a minute.
Yeah, that
because this is my thing. When you ask that question, what can Joe Biden do? What can Joe Biden do?
We don't know.
Different.
We don't know about.
I'm gonna tell you what he can do different.
We don't know about no Biden.
Donald Trump is trying to get reelected, so he backed himself off.
And he giving these stimulus checks.
Listen, brother. He backed himself off of helping the states because he don't want his name if things go wrong with this coronavirus. It's going to be on the fault of the governors. But see, if Joe Biden get in there, he's going to take control of this shit. Fuck what the governors is talking about. Joe Biden going to get in there and say, this company, this factory, y'all start producing masks. This factory over here, y'all start producing ventilators. That's how he's going to run it. Donald Trump is not doing that because if things go wrong, they're going to fault him and not vote for him.
It's going
but
right.
if it
All
goes,
giving these niggas these checks.
What I'm saying is, Donald Trump already said he's not getting involved in the states. Each state got to do what they got to do to save their people.
As they say. But you know don't always work that way.
But the responsibility of the government, which why we pay our taxes, so when something like this happens, they're supposed to take control of this. Why should each state, this is Tennessee, this is Texas, why should these states compete for masks? See what Donald Trump's supposed to do is, he's supposed to say, okay, y'all ain't competing for no masks. The government is going to buy these masks and spread them out to the state. But see, Donald Trump is not doing that. And see, that's why more people are dying.
Stimulus checks.
Because he thinks the stimulus checks are going to get
voted. Stimulus checks.
I got gone for stimulus checks.
Now what you got something to say.
I can't leave the company. All right, go
I can tell you got something to say. Go and speak your bag, man.
Stimulus checks.
Stop the back of your fucking neck being stupid.
All I'm gonna say.
I got one. He sent me 1,200. Trump did. Used it like a motherfucker.
Now you gonna vote for it?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And he said it, and I said it. Shit, get the fuck out of here.
My family. Now, I was gonna say is that what this disease is real. I see what y'all saying about majority of people passing from it as being blacks.
Right.
But it's not discriminating in who catches it.
Right.
It's true. Me previously working in the medical field, I lost my job due to the COVID-19. I feel like. I'm not going to elaborate on that, but I myself was sitting in there and was like, okay, we got patients that's waiting outside. Who wear the mask, me or the patient? Because evidently they have signs of something that could be related to the COVID-19. So it was in the office I was in, seemed like a problem about the mask. You know, because they let us know that they were limited.
Right.
Anyway, I just say when you go out to the grocery stores, Walmart, wherever you go, protect yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Protect yourself.
And
Wash
your
your
kids.
hands. try to leave kids at the stores. If you don't have to take them, don't take them. You know, if you don't have to take them in the stores because their little bitty bodies, you know, this thing is bad. And I think honestly, before they brought it out and said it was really here, it was here.
It was.
Because seeing all the people coming in with flu and different things.
It was. They couldn't diagnose it.
For the flu, they sick
and
get worse and get worse. So I believe before they actually said and told us what was going on, it was here. And we probably all
it's COVID-19.
Had some of the symptoms. I mean, you know, seriously, because it was like a little chain reaction of different things going around. It's like, ooh, they was sick, they got this, Like, wait a minute, what is wrong? What is going on? Then it go right back around.
You couldn't figure it out.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes, your nose, you know, your mouth. Just be cautious. Stay prayed up.
Most definitely that.
And vote for Joe Biden.
Walking down the aisle, confident. Walking, just go for me.
I'm trying to get this man up out of here.
How do you think Joe Biden would do anything different?
I just told you. Joe Biden's not going to get in there and say, okay, you go over here, y'all handle this. I'm going to stay over here and golf.
But he's
not going to do that, bro.
The spread of this virus is not policy. It is. I'm going to tell you why. Is he going to go to New York and tear down all them apartments?
I'm going to tell you why it's policy. Because the United States government can declare martial law, lock this place down for 2 months. No movement except for police, EMS workers,
and Joe Biden going to do that.
They don't have to. If he put the National Guard on the streets and the police in the streets, if you come out your house, you better have a reason.
Why need to do it?
It might be rags, but guess what? At the end of the day, most people are still going to be alive. So that's why I'm saying the government can do some things. I'm not saying.
Look, Marcus, I've been alive a long time. I've never seen a Democrat with balls like that.
Well,
I understand that. But you asked me though. You asked me what can he do. And I'm explaining
I'll tell you what he will do. He's going to get off his do the same thing.
The government can take control over this whole coronavirus.
I know what you're saying.
You be expecting it unexpected.
I'm willing to guarantee he's going to do more than what Donald Trump is doing.
You better be going to speak. Y'all know how much media is nowadays? It's affecting every part of our lifestyle. Hamburger is $12 for a pack of meat. This should affect everything. If they don't get it, they're trying to drag you out for the kill your own hungry.
PPE, that's the only thing different that he do. He would have more access to medical.
It's the Production Act also.
That little PPE.
See, Donald Trump has a lot of donors that are factory workers. Let me finish.
They both are paid off.
Let me finish though. Donald Trump has a lot of top donors that run Ford and Chevrolet companies. Joe Biden can come in there and tell them people, just like they did in World War II when they built millions of planes to fight the Japanese. He can tell them companies, look, we need to get masks so the states won't be competing against masks and more people are dying while they're getting PPE together.
And which one he's going to tell? Apple, Google, Microsoft, all those support Democrats.
Amazon. Listen what I'm saying.
They're not
going to trying to get into particulars. What I'm trying to say is there is more that Donald Trump can be doing. He's not doing it because he wants to get reelected.
No, he's not doing it because it's the reality. Rich people run the country. You can't tell a rich man to open your
factory.
Yes,
you can, bro.
You can't do
it. Government protection. It's called.
I understand what you said. That's legally you can't, but you can't do it policy-wise because they will take the funding from you. If you tell a rich man,
take a funding from.
If you tell a rich man to take his factory and start making masks,
Donald Trump already did.
Let me tell you, if you tell somebody to do that, like I said, I'll go tell Apple to do that. Okay. Right? They got factories everywhere. Okay. What Apple's going to do, he's not going to fund you no more. He's going to take all the thing for your re-election. That's why he don't do it.
Bro,
Joe Biden will be in the same situation if he get elected.
It's politics.
It's politics.
I understand what you're saying.
Man, what fact?
But I
understand what you're saying, but I guarantee
that's what it boils down to.
If Joe Biden gets elected on day one,
it's not a waste of time.
On day one,
he's not telling other companies.
On day one, the CDC is going to start holding press briefings like they're supposed to.
Okay, that's right.
Telling people what's going on. That's number one.
Which can help.
That can help.
Number two, He's gonna pick companies. It might not necessarily be Apple.
He's
gonna pick companies.
Some small companies.
He's gonna pick companies, start ramping up the production on PPE. He's gonna start locking down certain hotspots. He's gonna start doing things that Donald Trump's supposed to be doing right now, but he's not doing because he's trying to get reelected and he don't want his hands on it.
And Marcus, and all that would have helped. Look, and all that would have helped if he would have did it in January. When Joe Biden get in office, this is gonna be in November. It will be too late.
Y'all not fucking talking about politics. We can sit here at this table and talk about this all night long. Y'all not even getting to the root of it. It'll be a great conversation. We get to the root of the party. Bring up some good issues. What we talking about, we already know.
What's up, Braxton?
I'm saying, what is the solution? What are some of the solutions y'all thinking that will help our community?
I just told you. There's only two people you can vote for. Everything else.
That is true.
Everything else is done.
Well, this is okay, family just walked in.
That's real ignorant.
This is
Yeah, he all in the crowd.
We YouTubing right now. We're in the deep
I want to thank y'all for joining us on this discussion. This is the Daily Read. This is gonna be sibling talk. We're gonna do this every once a month or 2 months.
once a month. We need to do this once a month.
We can do this once a month.
Once a month.
And we're gonna bring up topics that's going on and affecting the minority community. This is my brother-in-law.
Because we do it at the same time.
Alex
Selby Jr.
What y'all doing?
Cat man, this cat man right here. This is the man right here.
I've been ready for
Well, I want to thank y'all for joining Daily Read. We're gonna get out of here, y'all.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Business.